Hey guys, for this video or this live stream should say, I'm going to be explaining how to simplify algebraic expression. This is a requested video from one of my students in Jamaica. So here we go. Okay, so when it comes on to algebraic expressions, so we basically need to know what it means to simplify, put it in its simplest form. Algebraic expression from the term algebra, that has to do with numbers, letters, and different terms. And expressions, you know, they do not have an equal sign. So terms you may see are positive terms. Unlike terms, you may see variables, you may see negative terms, you may see like terms, and you may see coefficients. So if you have an idea of what these are, you should be able to start the process of simplifying. So when it comes on to, let's change the color to black. When it comes on to variables, you know that these are any letters. Alright, from the alphabet, so it can be A, can be B, can be C, can be X, Y, or it can be Z. So whatever letter you see in your expression, that's basically what's called your variables. The coefficient is basically the number that stands in front of your variable. For example, this one, the coefficient is 3. If you had seen a negative 4x, the coefficient here is a negative 4. So that's what is known for coefficient. So we also have like terms, and like terms are terms that have the same variable at the end of it. And very soon I'll explain this to you. Negative terms are terms that have a negative sign in front of it. And so you should be able to tell this by looking to see the sign that is in front. Most people get this confused. When you say in front, they think it's, let's see, they think it's the thing, the sign that's behind, but in front basically mean whatever that comes before the coefficient, which is your number. Alright, unlike terms will be explained very soon. Positive terms, you may see a plus sign in front of those terms, or you may see terms that doesn't have a sign in front of it, and those are basically positive terms. Alright, so let's move on to the other aspect of the lesson. So I have some notes here for you. So like terms are terms that have the same variables as I was explaining to you on the other slide. And these terms can be added or subtracted, multiplied or divided. So that's it for like terms. I'll put an example right here. So if you had like 3x plus 2p minus 5p minus 2x, here we need to identify which terms are considered to be like terms. And so since as we have two variables working with, x and p, we need to group all the p's and we need to group all the x's. So in this case, we must group the 3x with the negative 2x, and we must group the 2p with the negative 5p. So these two are considered to be like terms, and the ones I circled are also like terms. So if you simplify this, you will get 3 minus 2 to give you 1x or just x. I'll put the 1 there for people who like to use the 1, but 1x is the same thing as x. And positive 2p minus 5p will give you a negative 3p. And this here will be your final answer as you are simplifying. From here, we cannot go any further because these terms are not the same. And that tends us to unlike terms. So unlike terms are terms that have different variables. What are they talking about? So you see like this one, it has x and it has a p. These variables are not the same. So we consider them to be unlike terms. And these terms cannot be added or subtracted, but they can be multiplied or divided. Alright, and I just added it here. You cannot simplify these through addition and subtraction. As you see, you cannot be combined to give a full term. So let's move on to the next one. So I have another note here for you. So say before combining terms, you need to check the type of number. So is it a positive term or a negative term? So when you're doing this, it also helps you to better understand integers in some sense. So when grouping them, you take the sign that goes with a particular term. And I'm saying that because here we have a negative 2x and here we have a positive 4x. So we know that these two can be combined because they are like terms. So if you're going to be combining these two terms, you have to bring the positive 4, as in the positive sign when you move in the 4, and you have to bring the negative sign when moving the 2. So right here we'll have negative 2x plus 4x, and that will give us a positive 2x. Next we have positive 3y and negative 2y. Let me change the color a little to give some definition. So right here, we're going to be grouping this positive 3y with this negative 2y. Alright, so we say plus 3y minus 2y. So 3 minus 2 will give us 1. So it's going to be 1y. Or you can just put y if you are comfortable like that. So that's how you basically do them. So you have to bring the term that comes with the number when you're grouping them. Alright, let's move on to the last one. And the video will end very soon because I have another video to do, and I'm gonna have to gather those information. So let's go. So simplify the following terms. Okay, so the first one is 3a plus 2b plus 5a plus b. So here we have two variables working with, a and b. We're going to be grouping all the a's and all the b's. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to group this with that. I'm going to group, let's change the color again. I'm going to have to move a bit faster than this. Let's group the 2 with the b. So we're going to be grouping these two. Alright? So right here, 3a plus 5a will give us 8a, and 2b plus b. Here they see that there's no coefficient visible, but a 1 is normally in front of a variable that stands on its own. So this is basically a 1b. So 2b plus 1b will give you a 3b, and so 3b is your answer. So right here is our answer, 8a plus 3b. Alright, let's move on to the next one. It says 4x squared minus 5xy plus 2x squared minus 2xy. Here we have two variables working with. One is a combination, but we can talk about that soon. We have x squares. Oops, I think I changed the board. We have x squares working with. X squares working with, and we also have xy's working with. Alright, so xy here will be considered to be one term because they are being multiplied. So xy is 1, x squared is 1. So we need to group all our x squares and we need to group all our xy's. So it's 4x squared plus 2x squared. Let's bring this thingy a little bit shorter so I have more depth. And now we need to group the xy. So it's negative 5xy, and I know that because the negative sign is with the 5. And a negative 2xy. And so from here we can simplify. 4 plus 2 is 6, so that is 6x squared. Negative 5, negative 2 will give us a negative 7, and the negative 7xy. And if you have issues working integers, I'm going to show you a quick way, the way you can simplify this. So it's called a negative positive chart, where the first example was a negative 5xy, negative 2xy. So you have the negative aspect and you have the positive side. So once you draw a negative positive chart, you're going to put the numbers based on how they are given. So here is negative 5. So 5 goes under the negative region. Here is a negative 2. The 2 go under the negative region. Once you have the numbers under the same column, you're going to be adding the numbers. So 5 plus 2 is 7. And this is a negative 7 because under the negative section. Alright, negative 7 xy. And that's how you simplify. Let's try another one. Just to get you familiar with this, if you have a negative 10 x squared plus 3x squared. Here, I'm going to draw my negative positive chart. And negative 10, so the 10 will be negative, so I put it right here. And the 3 is positive, so it goes over this side. So once they're on opposite sides of the chart, all you have to do is to cancel from the smallest part. So if I take 3 from here and 3 from here, on this side I'm left with 7. And this 7 is now negative. So the answer to this would be a negative 7x squared. Let's try another one with 2 positives, even though this should be simple for most people. So let's say 2a plus 3a, negative positive. So 2 here doesn't have a sign, but I know that it's a positive 2. So the 2 goes over here, and the 3 is also a positive 3, so it goes down here. And as I said to you on this side, once you have the 2 numbers under the same column, we're going to be adding them. Let's erase this. We're going to be adding them. So 2 plus 3 is 5. So the answer to this would be a positive 5a. And I hope this was useful for the persons who asked me for it for the video, and also for persons who are looking on and need clarification on how to do integers or how to do algebraic expression. And that would be the end of this video. I have another video coming up regarding triangle proofs. So I'm going to be doing that video in a minute. So if you're here for the live stream, feel free to come back so we can go through those questions together. And thank you very much for coming, guys. I really appreciate your help and support.